Hi, I'm Liz Wong, and today I'll be reading an excerpt from my short story, All Lonely Roads Lead to Old Sembahnang. The full version is published in Sinking City Lit Mag, if you want to read it all. So here it goes. All lonely roads lead to Old Sembahnang. There were roads in Sembahnang that have not felt the hum of cars in a while. These roads were now cracking apart into hexagons, with weeds forcing themselves into broken spaces where hot bitumen was once laid. Now the mangrove swarm encroached. No one has used these roads, not since the flood. No one other than runners, scientists, scout troops on expeditions, and of course, themselves. The two of them have spent many a Saturday on a green glass beach when they were younger. They took the road Jalan Changkat Beras that ran through the artificial rivers and lakes of Mr. Tan's prawn farms and passed by a row of makeshift huts, zinc sheets slapped together to form homes for Mr. Tan's Burmese workers. The zinc sparkled in the afternoon heat and scorched their hands when they touched it. And then the road wound around a cluster of fish warehouses where the fish was sorted before being carried away to the capital in shoals of ice in dirty grey styrofoam boxes. In the morning, wooden boats powered by diesel engines brought in the fish and hoisted their catch with slings into the warehouses by noon. They would stop by at the warehouses to help with the sorting. Big fish goes in one pile, medium fish goes in another, small fish goes in another pile, and weird fish goes in the weird fish pile. Their hands, shoes, clothes would be stained with fish ooze, but they got a free lunch. Packed nasi lemak with fried egg and anchovy bits. After their lunch, Jalan Changkat Beras would take them further, away from people, to an old railway line that led onward to the beach. They had used to skip unevenly across the wooden sleepers from one road to the other. Their entire journey took 48 minutes one way, according to Kevin, reading off his black Casio wristwatch with a tiny calculator. He got his watch when he was 11 for doing well in his exams. And if they ran all the way there, their journey only took 28 minutes. But their return home took much longer as they walked home carefully. Otherwise, the beach glass would break and they would have gone there with nothing to show for it. Nothing but a memory of their day, scarring for selecting and saving the best pieces of beach glass. She had visited the green glass beach only once ever since she came back from the capital after finishing university. There was nothing lonelier than walking on a 48-minute trail, once with company and now by herself. Nowadays, she spends her Saturdays volunteering at the Buddhist Children Playgroup, BCP, a 10-minute drive from her home. It was not a perfect substitute, but the feeling of helping another person could offset memories, or at least help her forget. At the very least, she was too busy handling the kids to think about anything else. Last year, sometime in May, she and another regular volunteer, it was that woman with the jutting chin whose name she could never remember, had taken a group of BCP kids out to the green glass beach. Bringing lunch, first aid kits and handphones with them, they walked the same road that she and Kevin had once walked every Saturday. The kids spoke too loudly, their blaring voices overwhelmed the whispers of the mangrove, the sighs of unanswered footprints. When they arrived at the beach, she explained to the kids where this beach glass comes from and how they were formed. She taught them how to choose the best specimens and was horrified when they collected the flattest ones only to skip them across the water. She never took them there again, or suggested the green glass beach to anyone. Her cousin and her Angmo boyfriend had stopped by Sembahnang 2 months ago as they were doing a grand tour of amazing Malaysia and wanted to visit a quaint, charming place in the rural countryside. Something not too touristy, her cousin had requested. And so she pointed them to the direction of a beach resort 20 minutes away. At any rate, no one went near the green glass beach unless they were scientists or foreign tourists. People said that it was haunted, a dirty place. You should shower after you go there to get rid of any evil spirits that have clung to you. You should never read messages in a bottle. because that is how spirits try to communicate with you. She didn't believe the superstitions, but she understood their essence and how they came about. There is something about sitting on the green sand, waves lapping at your toes, the whole sky unfurling wide open over you that breeds the belief that there are things, forces in the world bigger than you are. Everything that has happened in the entire history of the world, every death, every flood, every job, every farewell, every childhood love lost, lingers in the surrounding hills, in the drowned valley, in the green glass beach. What was she then? A microscopic glimmer in a world where nothing ever changes. In many ways, she was comforted by that realization. On the day her Amma died, she had found a bottle washed up on the beach and hidden in a cluster of phragmites. The bottle was battered, but there was a message inside, smeared, almost unintelligible. But she could very nearly make out the top, 1859, which would make it over 150 years old. 150 years of floating in the ocean. It seemed almost meant for her that she should find it on the day her grandmother died, when life seemed transient. She and Kevin had never told their families where they went on Saturday mornings, because they wouldn't let them go there otherwise. Her mother would tell her that all these bad spirits will try to find a place in your soul and control you, and you'll never be free. Looking back, their families had probably let them both do what they wanted on Saturdays, because they were hoping that they would fall in love, get married. He's such a nice boy, her father would tell her, so filial and obedient, respects his elders. He will make a good husband. They had gone to the beach for the sole reason of collecting beach glass. Every Saturday, they would empty their backpacks of school books and use them to carry beach glass home. Beach glass is ordinary glassware, beach bottles and glass jars that has found its way to the sea. There it is whipped by waves and crushed against rocks and passing ships before being left behind on beaches far away from where it came from. Imagine you find a seemingly perfect green sphere. It is the size of a marble. It is sitting on your palm still. It is the product of everything that's happened until this very moment, blown in a glass factory somewhere, used by someone, found its way into the sea, churned around in storms, washed up on a beach, and now picked up by you to sit on your palm still. It has seen fish, bits of wood, and household rubbish floating in the sea, surface eddies, and weed. Crystallographically speaking, it is unnatural. Minerals do not naturally grow into spheres. Its crystal system is not in the charts. Microscopically speaking, it is flawed. Glass is a supercooled liquid with no long-range structures and no symmetry and no order. Although glass may look solid, it is actually a liquid and can flow at very slow speeds, unnoticeable to the eye. After several millennia, this glass sphere would have flowed into another shape altogether. But in terms of a human lifetime and to human eyes, this glass sphere is perfect. I'm going to stop here for today because I think I'm at my time limit. So thank you all for listening and have a good day.